When I lived in New York, it was a really magical period of my life. I feel like I never got out of the honeymoon phase with New York because I moved here after I was already touring as a musician, so I didn't have to break into the very intimidating New York music scene. And I just got to hang out. And because I was making my living out on the road and I would come home and I just got to enjoy New York sort of as a vacation spot that I lived in. And I know that is not most of yours experience. A lot of my friends who lived in New York more fully said that it takes a crap on you about as often as it is your friend. But I do remember that after a while I felt a tug to start kind of this new phase of my life that I'm now in, and I thought it would be a nice thing to write a sort of song of closure or a farewell. And I'm a very, very slow writer, and so after I left New York, I think it was about 2 years later that I wrote my "Hey, I moved away from New York" song. And like many songs, it's superficially about the fact that I lived in New York, now I live somewhere else, and I had a relationship then, I have a different relationship now. But I think that, I hope that as I've grown up as a songwriter, that songs become about many, many things at once. And so for you tonight, I want to leave you with this thought that it's a pretty rare thing for me, it's a pretty rare thing as a musician, because the experience of it is that you get applauded every 5 minutes for the things that you do just as part of your job. And I realize that now that I'm in the corporate world, that is not the way most people experience their work. There are not lines of people at the end of your workday telling you how grateful they are for that thing you did today. Or that thing you did 5 years ago that you sort of forgot about, that people are still carrying around it, that they're grateful for. But I think that even though you don't hear it, you do, each of you, the work that you do with your own life, with your own career, with your own studies, has an effect. It has a ripple effect out there. And you, when you're good to other people and you are good to yourself, you have an effect that you may never hear about. You may never get the applause that we performers get. But I want to kind of send that back to you for tonight. And so this is for each and every one of you for different reasons. It's my thank you to you. It's called Good Night, New York. Good night, New York, New York. Good night, good night. I'll see you all on the other side. After I am a different man with different eyes. Good night, you canyons of steel and light. The twist and turn where your alleyways hide. Swaying trains, sheltering dreams, a little white lines. Good night, good night. May you be always heartbreaking. Take a little more than you give. Yeah, but when you give, oh my. Good night, good night. I walk away to remember who I am. Somewhere in the woodland, somewhere in the streams, a bit of life shuffles into the day. Folded wings into flattening veins, a fluttering eyes. Somewhere my lifeline still hums and sings. In the mess of all I've thrown away, hungry now, I'm gathering seeds to throw wide. Good night, good night. May you be always breathtaking. Cold winter sink your teeth in me. June sun beat me blind. start breaking my heart again. Good morning, lover, give me your hand. Today begins and it's all that we